As all Americans know, across the board, the Bill of Rights and Constitution is being dismantled. Europe is openly under a financial dictatorship of Goldman Sachs and 5 other banks. The Economist magazine says that's a good thing that they took over via fraud. Obama is completely financed and controlled by these same globalists that run the private, run-for-profit Federal Reserve. And now he is openly implementing martial law in this country. Incrementally, he is carrying out a foreign corporate coup d'etat, a corporate takeover by the crony capitalists that are anti-free market and who are monopoly men. Now, the Drudge Report had the headline, Executive Order National Defense Resources Preparedness, and asked the question, is this martial law? And then Hot Air, that's kind of a pro-war neocon site, said, well, this has been on the books since the Cold War, in case of nuclear attack or whatever, 1950, and so it's really not a big deal. Really, Obama has changed it to say for any emergency, including economic. The point is that they're beginning to implement it. Yeah, there's been stuff on the books for the federal government to federalize and nationalize the entire economy, communications, water, create work brigades, take over communications. That's been there since the 50s, since 1950. But now they're implementing it with the National Defense Authorization Act, saying they'll secretly arrest Americans and disappear us anytime they want. Creating governor councils, saying the states don't matter. We have a 10-member appointed council under FEMA. They're announcing that domestic security force that's just as big and just as strong as the military Obama always talked about as the FEMA Corps. They've got the clergy response teams to spy on their flock. InfraGard, controlled by Homeland Security and FEMA, where corporate chiefs spy on people. A classical grid. General Petraeus, head of the CIA, came out and said, all the new appliances and cell phones have stuff built into them with two-way tracker systems to Trojan horse watch you. I'm going to show you that from Wired Magazine. He actually got up and gave a speech and said, everything we've been telling you for a decade, but now in your face. And the answer, the response when Drudge comes out and points out that this is dangerous, is to have the so-called right wing go, oh, it's not a big deal. It's been on the books. Yeah, it's been on the books. They can force us into work brigades since 1950. Does that mean that it's constitutional? The point is they're now implementing it. They're now accelerating it. They're now having Congress told by the Secretary of Defense 2 weeks ago, hey, we don't need you to authorize us in Libya or in Syria or in Sudan or anywhere else. We have the UN. We have NATO. Violating Article 1, Section 8, Clause 11. And it's not even newsworthy when impeachment processes begin. When a bill's introduced that if Obama ignores the Constitution, he'll automatically be impeached, or the triggering of the trial in the House will begin. So this is all happening right now. This is unfolding right now, and it's because the big mega banks that created the derivatives that they got governments to sign on to is too big to fail is now imploding the world economy. They will then pose as the saviors and have the emergency reorganization where the government can sell off assets to its buddies at pennies on the dollar. This is a total fire sale looting, and it's moving so fast it's even blowing me away. Look at this. Here is the Drudge Report, okay? There it is. Martial law. Obama issues executive order, national defense. And that's exactly what's happening. But when you read this, it's what he's already implementing. Every year they reissue the emergency. That's basically what they're doing. But that's how the shadow government has been operating and power grabbing. Then you go here. Hot Air. They're like, oh, it might just be a mere, update. It's no big deal. Everything's fine. Really, is everything fine here? KSLA? Just type in clergy response teams. I got this document 3 years before it was in the news. People didn't believe it. Homeland Security enlists clergy to quell public unrest if martial law ever declared. And it gets into the clergy admitting they're trained to tell their flocks turn their guns in. Go watch the news report. It's right there on the page. Oh, Obama signs anti-protest trespass bill. Wherever the feds are, they just say it's a federal event and arrest you with felonies if you do it. Oh, look at this, all part of the total takeover. Obama establishes White House Rural Council. This gets into the military and Homeland Security being over your local affairs. and federalizing everything. By the way, that's all in the Big Defense Act from 1950. The point is, he's implementing Executive Order 13528, establishing Council of Governors. The John War Defense Authorization Act that Bush got rammed through says they'll use the military if the states try to nullify the federal government itself, now run by the UN publicly. It goes on and on. Oh, there's Wired. Heard of them before? CIA chief will spy on you through your dishwasher. He goes on to say all other appliances, video games, air conditioners, smart meters, over the power line, they can send data. The new fluorescent light bulbs, look it up. They data flash to new sensors in the computers, and then the government takes control of your computer remotely. Read it. I was on Fox News the other day and brought this up, and they said I was a kook and a liar. It's only in about 300 newspapers. Oh, here's Forbes when he signed the National Defense Authorization Act, saying he'll secretly arrest citizens whenever he wants. Oh, there's FEMA, FEMA.gov, right there. Oh, they're setting up a new Corps, FEMA Corps. We told you about this years ago. You know what they trained the FEMA Corps under AmeriCorps for? It's already been set up. They're just announcing it. You know what they have it set up for? Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, what they have it set up for. It said warrant service, checkpoints, and searching the woods for extremists, searching rural areas. That was in the Philadelphia Inquirer 7 years ago under Homeland Security. It was beta tested. I've been to all the drills. I've talked to the insiders. I've had federal marshals, FBI, state police send me the documents. I've got family in the military. They're all training to go house to house and take your guns. And you know what? The good news is the American people know that. So the already previous record gun sales of 4 years ago have now doubled and then doubled again. They're selling out of ammo and guns everywhere because people know. Now, the globalists won't be able to get away with this martial law implementation if we scream bloody murder. But they're trying to right now. They're trying to sell this. And they got the military for the first time ever before Congress going, no, we take orders from the UN. We don't need you anymore. Yeah, we'll arrest whoever we want on American soil. Yeah, we're setting up FEMA Corps. Yeah, we got your preacher spying on you. Yeah, we're putting up face scanning cameras. And then Drudge, who's super smart, breaks the news on an executive order Obama signed a day and a half ago. They got no coverage. He reads it and says, this looks like martial law. And the other conservatives are like, no, Drudge, you know, it's not a big deal. No, it's a big deal because, yes, it was on the books, but now they're implementing. I could have a gun in my gun safe. It's locked up. That's what that emergency legislation was. COG, continuity of government under nuclear attack. The point is they're taking it now out for the economic disaster that they have implemented, and they're now going to pose as the saviors. They're implementing it. The gun's now out of the gun safe, pointed at the American people's heads. The safety is off. They're moving at light speed, meaning they're totally planning to implode everything. I'll cover it more on the radio. Infowars.com. Please get this out to everyone. Obama and the globalists that controlling are launching their martial law coup d'etat, not with a bang, but with a whimper. So let's raise a ruckus and make sure they don't just slip this through. God bless you all. Defend the Republic, defend freedom worldwide. Stop the New World Order.
The news brought to you by HoundsNews.com.